time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Welcome. Did you miss me? Almira?
Nigel, your absence created such a void in our souls. So I'm pretty sure that our friends are so happy to see you.
Yeah.
So I welcome Grandmaster Nigel Short, to our commentary booth once again.
Yeah.
And what do we have today, Nigel? The World Cup?
We have the World Cup and we have the semi-final tie breaks. So Jan Krzysztof Duda with white against Magnus Carlsen, and it's going to be a humdinger. Whatever that is. But
we also have a tie break for the third place in the ladies' event. Of course, the players are fighting for the prizes and for the medals. Okay, as we can see, Magnus is not at the board yet. It's his ritual, as it seems. Yes?
Yes. I remember Garry Kasparov used to show up routinely late for his games, but he did this for a different reason. There was a regulation back in the day that photographers could only take photos during the first 5 minutes, and so he used to show up after 5 minutes. But I think they should have changed the regulations that they could take photographs for 5 minutes after the last person arrived at the board. That would have been more sensible.
So Jan Krzysztof Duda is waiting for his opponent. He is white, so he's starting with white pieces. Yesterday he played a fine game, and what's I find very impressive that he played with no fear, Nigel.
Yeah, he seemed to be pressing. I mean, I was dragged away to a FIDE council meeting yesterday. So we were discussing lots of important matters. But, of course, in between times, we were also keeping an eye on the game. So it seemed as if he had a pleasant position and pressing, but I didn't follow it in detail, unfortunately.
So the world champion just arrived. Are we going to have a handshake, Nigel? The pandemics have changed so many things in our lives.
Of course.
So,
didn't we have one then?
not yet, I think. Yes, we will have a symbolic first move on the board. So is it a E4?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. And
Magnus goes through his ritual of adjusting the pieces after the game has started.
So E4, E5. Yes, we will get the games on the screens like in a few seconds.
I want to see some gambit play. I want to see some sacrifice. Sacrifice. But it's not going to happen, is it? There'll be some close Spanish.
Anna Mazurchuk is white against Tan Zhongyi.
Strange. Yes. Oh, is that a Petrov or something? Is that what we've got there? Looks like.
Well, yesterday they've played already a very regional Petrov with Bishop D3.
Aha.
So, yes, we'll have
to... It's gone in a different direction.
We'll have a look at the games in a moment. So, our sponsors once again, Nigel.
Indeed. And our general partner is Gazprom, and which supplies gas and other energy to lots and lots of people. Massive company.
And to teddy bears.
And to
fluffy rabbits.
Fluffy rabbits and teddy bears. Nornickel is a leading Russian metals and mining company and the world's largest producer of high-grade nickel and palladium. They're great. Fosagro are also a massive company and is one of the world's largest producers of phosphate-based fertilizers and supplies those to 102 countries around the world. They are a strategic partner of FIDE and a general partner of the Russian Chess Federation. And of course, we are very grateful to them and to the other partners as always.
So now that we have done with that, let's get the boards on our screens.
Yes.
I was thinking that was a sort of Steinitz, but probably it was the Berlin. Yes, we'll have to...
Yes, Berlin.
The Steinitz Berlin.
Yes.
Knight f6 was played, then young Krzysztof Duda didn't accept the challenge, didn't go for the endgame.
Yes.
He went for a quiet d3, d6, and then c3. We still don't have... I think there are a few moves who were played on the board. Yes, so a6 and bishop a4.
So, really?
Yes.
A6 is thrown in at this early point.
Mm-hmm. Will he go for g6?
Yeah,
but then
g6.
it is a Steinitz.
It is...
the Steinitz, sort of.
It is a Steinitz. Of course it's a Steinitz. And g6 is always a good move, of course. It's because I play it. Which is proof positive that it's a good move.
Well, we saw yesterday that it was absolutely impossible to feel your shoes, Nigel, even for a day.
Yeah. So anyway, no, very often, I mean, we talk about this, that so we get a few more moves, G6, castles, bishop G7. Very often in the Spanish opening, the bishop comes to e7 and then rook e8 after castling, and the bishop comes back, and then they fianchetto. But there you're losing at least two tempi, arguably even more when you play like that. So I like to play with the move G6 and Bishop G7. I played both sides of these games, by the way.
So does Magnus Carlsen.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Like I've just checked a few games in the database. He played so many games. He has played so many games with white.
Yes.
Against this setup. So he usually goes for knight BD2.
Yeah.
In this position.
I'll tell you what I have liked
here,
playing
yes.
with white.
So Nigel goes for sorry, you are like the reference here, but I think that Magnus goes for knight d2 here, and young Krzysztof Duda
I don't really
started with h3.
Yeah, I don't really see the necessity for h3. In general, the way I like to play this, I mean, knight d2 is a good move, but you can often also, I think, put your your bishop on g5 in this line. It makes much more sense now that the black bishop is not on this square. So maneuvering the knight round in the direction of d5 is one thing. So we've seen an interesting maneuver in the style of the Hungarian master, Mr. Breyer.
Nigel, knight b8 was played, yes. The famous maneuver, knight b8, knight d7.
So you will explain that to us.
Well, first I wanted to ask you another question, of course. I wanted for you to explain the purpose of this maneuver, because bishop g5 could always be by h6.
Yes, and you will play bishop h4.
So you will leave your bishop.
Yeah, you'll leave your bishop there. I mean, there is a possibility that it can get out of play there, but I think you're also provoking some little weaknesses.
And you shouldn't be afraid of these move g5, like bishop g3. Your bishop for the moment is a bit out of play.
Yeah, but you're then trying to place this knight around. You can do it in different ways. Sometimes do f1, and from there I'm drawing my beautiful arrows. You try and control these squares. This is a very, very typical maneuver. And you hope for a slight advantage in this type of position.
So young Krzysztof Duda went for another plan, h3.
Somebody's asking, what's the disadvantage of this early fianchetto? I don't think there is a particular disadvantage. I think it's absolutely okay. I mean, you can't have your bishop on e7 and on g7 at the same time, but it's, bishop g5, even there is not a big deal.
Yeah, and actually the thing is here you could also develop, just a second, I wanted to show the, in the traditional Steinitz you could develop your knight on e7, while when you start with knight f6 and aiming for the Berlin, this is just, a classical Steinitz position, so then it just leaves you with no option. So there's also knight b8, of course, Magnus wants to...
So we still haven't explained this idea. So I think it leads to a more harmonious development of the white pieces here. So very often, black will play b5 and c5, and put the bishop on b7.
And also, why, if I may just enrich on this explanation, very often this knight, while on c6, is out of play because this pawn on c3 controls all the squares, and as we saw in different setups, black goes knight e7, knight g6, trying to improve its mobility and activity. So knight b8 is A very nice maneuver, knight d7 and bishop c2.
Well, somebody is claiming that knight b8 is Dingley Wren's novelty. Dingley Wren, he was a superb player. Maybe I have no idea whether he was the first person to play it in this exact position, but this is a 100-year-old idea.
It's a standard maneuver, yes.
Basically, that's
which you're using in Roy Lopez.
Yeah. And it does appear in quite a number of variations.
So bishop c2, b5. So he simply retreated the bishop and wants to... Does he want to play d4 here?
I think he may do. He may do. Because I'm wondering what's the point of white's setup otherwise. You see, black has arranged his kingside better this way. The bishop has already come. So now I should explain a potential disadvantage of this setup. Maybe not so much exactly this position, but in general, when white plays the move d4 and then d5. If we can just put the not d5. I mean white playing d5. So black plays bishop b7.
Let's say bishop b7 and
and I'm not suggesting this immediately. Normally you would sort of prepare it with b3 perhaps. Then that bishop can be misplaced when the center is blocked. So white would normally wish to support that center with b3 and c4. So, yeah, exactly. And then, in fact, the bishop just might be a bit on the wrong side there. Those are the subtleties.
Okay, so Nigel, young Krzysztof started with a4. And maybe he was waiting for bishop b7 and... Okay, now b4 was played. So he's delaying the traditional plan. He doesn't play d4.
Yeah, and this is interesting because I should mention that one of the typical ideas, and when I play blitz chess, loads of people play in this sort of similar way. They often go, this is a typical maneuver, and they then put a knight on g3. The knight on g3 does absolutely nothing here. It has no prospects because black has already arranged his king side very well. So this way you keep the knight on d2, and the knight can go... no, I have to kill these arrows. In the other direction sometimes.
To a5.
And over to a5. So that is one of the advantages of this. And he will try and keep that. And sometimes just the knight there, it's supporting the e-pawn. You may want to play d4. But you're keeping your knight to go on the queen side, basically. And this routine maneuver, which is been seen in thousands and thousands of games, of playing the knight over to g3, as I indicated a minute ago, in my opinion, makes no sense at all.
Nigel, but then when white plays d4, black usually replies with c5. Can Magnus play c5 here?
He can.
So what does it change?
I think it's
Should I simply play bishop b2 here?
Yeah, I don't know. I like c5 here. I like it a lot. And, well, I think that everything is in place for this move, but I'm not sure how does it affect
Black's plans here?
I think Black's plans here again. We're very often aiming for the move d5.
Yes,
because we've placed our bishops very well for this advance, and you might want to prepare that with rook e8. Perhaps not. I don't know.
And c5 was played actually. Yeah. So I think once again
we should mention the time control. It's 25 minutes plus 10 seconds increment, isn't it? Right, is that right?
Yes, it is. Well, and Magnus is looking very confident. It reminds me of his game against Etienne Becro. Remember, like Etienne used, quite a sign line in the rule opus, and everything was set up for his d5 move.
Yeah.
And it was the most principled continuation in that position, and he played a great game. So here, as you said, we could prepare d5, but the position maybe asked for c5.
No, c5 first. Because, and if we just go back one move, if Black were to play d5, then again this knight hopping round to b3 would suddenly, be aiming for these squares, and that gives some control. Jan Krzysztof has put his bishop back on c2 as a sort of defensive piece there.
To protect e4.
Yeah, he's protecting e4, and now he starts to go in positionally on the queen side. And in fact, knight a5 is already a real positional threat. I mean, it's easily met, but you need to be a bit careful there.
Okay, so c5 was played. We still have some time, Nigel. So let's have a look at the women's tiebreak. Anna Mizicuk is playing with white pieces against Tan Zhongyi. So let's see what Petrov. What line in the Petrov was it? So she went for knight c3. Yesterday she played bishop d3 here. So knight c3, d takes c3, knight d7, bishop b3. Is she going for the long castle? Yes, queen d2, long castle. And g6, bishop g7, Nigel. Are you familiar with this line? Because normally, you're playing with bishop b7.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with this stuff, to be honest.
Then let's have a look.
I think it's one of those... I don't like this particular setup with Black, because I don't think the bishop is necessarily that well placed, and I would be worried about pins here. So bishop d5, that's a sort of provocation, whatever. Castles, queen f4. And interesting that d5 is played, and what Black is trying to take some space, and here is a little tactical motif. Knight takes h5, which of course loses a piece initially with rook takes h5, to which the reply will be f6. And so this is some tricky tactical play. It's not very obvious what Anna Mizicuk can do about that.
Well, first of all, the first surprise after knight d7 could be bishop b3. Normally you would play bishop b4 here, but even after bishop b3, I was looking at the games with bishop b7 and castling immediately. So there are absolutely no games with g6.
Yeah.
Queen d2, g6, long castle, and bishop g7.
Strange setup.
So bishop g5. So queen d4, d5, h4, c6, h5, and knight h5.
Why is Tan wearing a mask? Have the players not been tested? Yes, they've been tested multiple times. It's her choice, and we're living in dangerous times. I wouldn't like to play in a mask, but I think at this point you're reasonably safe because there's hardly anybody left in the tournament, and
there are a few commentators.
Very few commentators. Indeed, and even the backroom staff, quite a few of them have left. A lot of them have left.
Okay, Nigel, the players have started the game with 25 minutes, and look at Anna's clock. She has only 9 minutes left, so she was clearly surprised with this setup.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with Queen H4?
But I wanted just to have a look here.
Yeah, F6.
So F6, and we're losing
you're not
everything.
Well, you're losing
but can you no? Can you do this? Then you take, and this doesn't work. No,
you can do that.
But then Queen D4, Queen F6. That's
I don't really see why you're that excited about this.
No, I cannot make it work. I thought that I'm winning on G5, but then Queen D4, Queen F6, it's nothing. But then Queen H4.
You can also continue yes. That variation. Go on, let's have some fun. Let's not go back a couple of moves.
Not dismiss it immediately.
Yeah,
okay.
go
here?
Queen H2 instead. Why are you sacrificing all my pieces, Almira? Show some respect.
We could continue with Queen H2, but then if I simply play Bishop F5?
Yeah, and I don't know, Knight D4, for example.
Mm-hmm. Knight D4, Queen F6.
And Bishop D3. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have gone Bishop D3 last move. Bishop D3 last move was a better move.
Instead of Queen D4.
Mm-hmm. Knight D4, I should have gone
Bishop D3.
D4, mm-hmm. Bishop D3. And I'm going to play Rook H1 and then checkmate you.
And you will have to take on G5 as well. Because if Queen F6, Rook H1.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rook H8. Check ideas is not doesn't do anything just
Maybe
yet.
I should start with this one, just to have one more square for my king. So Anna Mazachuk is still thinking. She's trying. Yes. Probably she's trying to make this work.
Yeah, she's looking. Sometimes you.
Oh no, she went for
Queen H4. Well, it looks like a much better. Quick Climb says, glad Nigel's finally back. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't it? Isn't it wonderful to be missed?
Oh, well, I could make a joke.
Go on. We like jokes.
So Queen H4, probably F6 was played, and Bishop E3.
Of course.
F6 was forced because G4 was a huge threat in this position.
What's the next move?
I don't know.
What does she want? Maybe F5, because G4 is a threat.
Yes, G4 is still a threat. So maybe F5, Bishop G5, and Bishop F6?
Yeah.
And try to exchange a few pieces? Okay, let's try. F5, Bishop G5, and Bishop F6.
And let's go Bishop D3.
Okay, she went for F5. Bishop D, you don't want to try Bishop B2?
I could do.
So to threaten this one.
Well, if I can.
You want to play
H6, for example. I don't know. I mean, you can perhaps win a pawn back after that. Okay. H6.
Okay, Bishop B2, H6, then. What do we do here? We take. Queen takes.
You can perhaps even take on. You can perhaps take that and play Knight E5.
Yes, but we cannot keep our bishop on E2 and rook on E1. I wanted to exploit everything
you want
at once.
Everything.
Yes. But then this, King G7 and rook H1. But then you have all these squares. I have these ones. So I don't know how to evaluate this position.
I'm going Knight E5 and mating you. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, Knight E5.
I'm mating you. So I have an attack. Oh, interesting. So
okay, let's have a look. Mm-hmm.
She's gone.
Queen a5 was played, and Nigel, I'm completely blind after bishop g5 and king b1.
Yeah, king b1. Yeah, I keep being referred to as a British goat, and I'm just wondering, what are people who blindly follow opening theory, Almira? They're sheep, aren't they? So you've got goats and sheep. Yeah. The Lord's my shepherd. What do people do to sheep in the end? They eat them, don't they?
Some people.
Send them to market.
My vegan friends would disapprove.
Of being a shepherd.
Okay, so let's have a look at the position. King b1 was played. We will switch back to the other tiebreak in a second. Nigel, just one last look at this position. You know, I think this was a very nice pawn sacrifice, because look at this bishop. You know, it's blocked by all these pawns. Yes.
I like white. I wouldn't be too bothered with white here, despite the fact being a pawn. I'm more concerned about her lack of time. Well, to be quite honest.
Rook e1, rook e7.
Yes.
Could be a possible continuation.
Okay, so bishop
d3,
bishop d7 for black.
Oh, sorry, yes, bishop d7.
And I think bishop d3.
But let's start with bishop b2. What's wrong with bishop b2?
You want to do it in a crude manner.
And
rook
threatening
a to e8, knight d4.
Knight d4, yes. That was my idea, but I don't know if it works. I'm frequently having hallucinations.
Rook e4.
Rook e4 and
then f4. Can we do that? We just go for...
We just go for it?
We go for
f4 because you don't have this. Knight of 6, I will simply take.
Yeah. I'll just continue. Continue my attack.
Yeah. With a lot of attacking possibilities.
Yes.
So, let's get back to Magnus Carlsen and Jan Krzysztof Duda.
Let's get back.
So c5, b takes c5, knight c5.
Interesting, because I would have taken with the pawn.
So we'll have the position on the board. So here, b takes c5, you would have taken...
I would have taken that way, but who am I to criticize Magnus Carlsen? No.
But then bishop b3?
I think there may be a problem with... I'm trying to think of the drawback of the setup. The drawback is maybe, yes, beautifully drawn. That white will maneuver his knight round probably to e3 via f1 and then start penetrating on d5. So this could be the concern.
Well, usually you improve your bishop first. Like you play bishop b3 and then slowly start to improve your pieces. Maybe bishop b2, then you have to control this break as well.
Okay.
So,
are you a fan of farm animals? I mean, pigs, they're quite intelligent, aren't they?
I'm just waiting for the follow-up.
No. I'm just thinking of Napoleon and Squealer and whoever else.
You know, during this tournament, I was staying at the beginning when I was playing. I was staying in a hotel which was close to. Well, there was a farm somehow close by, and I was awakened every day by this crazy rooster, which had no schedule. It was singing all day long.
Yeah.
And Alexandra Kostyanyuk confirmed it to me because she stayed in the same hotel afterwards. So she won the tournament. Despite the rooster, yes. So once again, congratulations to Alexandra Kostyanyuk for such
Yes.
Non-standing achievement.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And well, she's certainly an example, a role model for all of us. So let's have.
But it feels better for White. It feels better for White to me. I think Duda has placed his queen quite well on b1.
I'm always looking for things like knight e5, but here it doesn't work. No.
Well, does it?
Knight e5, rook e5, d4.
You mean you can play? So why can't you do that? Knight takes e4 or something.
Yes, maybe it simply doesn't bring
knight
anything.
takes e4.
Which one?
With something.
Knight takes e4, yes, and
yeah, maybe the other one, but okay.
Okay, otherwise we would win a pawn.
But I'll tell you something odd. Although I've been incredibly disparaging about the following maneuver, now may be the moment to put the knight on g3. And the reason for that is you go here, and then you may wish to play the other knight back to d2 and then effect a break with d4. So, that's possible. That's possible.
But then, can I...
It's a bit slow.
Yes, it's a bit slow. Wait, let me get rid of all this beautiful arrows. So if you will play knight f1, could I start with knight e6 then? And if you will play knight g3, then I will play knight f4. And maybe after knight d2.
No,
I just want.
Don't do it now.
I know.
Play d4.
Yes, I just wanted to show that
he's pushed it. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Right. D4. He started with d4 here.
Yeah. So what does he want? Knight takes d4, I guess.
No. She takes d4 was played. So, well, first of all, of course, this pawn is overprotected, so you have a lot of pieces. You cannot play knight e6 because of d5. And Magnus went for b4 here.
Yeah, because it's a deflection here. That's the point.
Okay. So that's if. Do we start with rook a1
yes,
first?
Yes, of course.
Okay, rook
knight takes e4.
Knight takes e4, and simply. Okay, we don't have to take here. No, then.
Yeah. So that's it. That's his idea. And if queen takes b4, he's got the other one.
Wait a second. Yes, and if.
But then, maybe he's got bishop b2. Is that a move? If we go back, maybe bishop b2 instead was.
But Nigel, here we don't win this pawn.
Well, you.
Let's calculate. Just
okay.
A simple line.
Bishop takes e4, for example.
Bishop takes e4.
Yeah. You don't win.
And knight e4 protects.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So. And bishop b2 was played. You were right.
So is b3 the move, or takes on a1 and then b3? Is that his idea?
To deflect one piece once again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would simply be worse.
Yeah.
So b3, once again, knight b3, then we simply take on e4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very comfortable position for black.
Yeah. You're being asked whether you speak Romanian.
Yes, I do.
How many languages do you speak, Almira?
Well, a few.
Go on. Tell us. Give them all. How many?
Which I can speak and read?
Yeah, well, yeah, to a reasonable level of proficiency. We don't.
Then English, French, Russian, Romanian,
English, French, Russian, Romanian. Okay.
Well, Serbo-Croatian, but I haven't spoken this for a while. So, and then I understand German to a certain extent. I can read it, of course. So the problem is the structure of the language. So it was very difficult for me to have a decent conversation.
Okay.
But all these years of Bundesliga have served me.
All right.
Right.
All right.
So, young Krzysztof is still thinking. Nigel, actually, I had a thought while you were not here.
But no Armenian. You don't.
No, I actually spoke Armenian when I was a kid. I had this very narrow vocabulary, but then
Okay.
Well, I forgot almost everything.
Okay.
I cannot read and write. This is for sure.
It's a very tricky alphabet.
Yes, I was studying the alphabet. Yes.
Oh gosh.
For quite a while. So, but it is such a beautiful language. And the thought that I had, it was you were absent yesterday, and I was thinking, if not chess commentary, not chess tournaments, the pandemics has put a lot of things into perspective. So what would you do? What could you do?
What would I do if I'm completely unemployable in any other capacity? So,
so you have no other expertise.
I've got no expertise whatsoever. I think I would like to have been, a lawyer, a politician. You don't need any qualities to be a politician. I mean, that is. I mean, none, basically. It's a fantastic job. I mean, you get paid well, and then.
Well, so you mean your irreverential style would offend many.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, so Magnus went for B3, Nigel.
Only necessity is to get elected.
Let's see, will it bring some massive exchanges?
So he's gone for this. He's gone for a...
D takes C5, bishop C2, b takes C2, queen C2, and then takes.
And now... Okay, so there is still this issue. How is queen C5? I can't count these things. How does knight takes E4
Maybe
work?
We should first take here?
I'm not so sure. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
And then knight E4, then bishop A1. I don't know, depends. Let's say here and knight E4 now.
Queen takes C6. And now you're lost.
Oh yes, and exactly. So this is not possible. Our rook is hanging. So let's be more precise here.
Okay.
Then bishop b4 here. Rook takes and bishop b4, and then...
Yeah, you've also got rook c... I mean, you've got positional compensation anyway, but bishop takes e4, bishop takes f6, let's see, because I can't count. Bishop...
So...
Bishop takes f6
yes,
is
bishop
okay.
takes f6 is okay.
No, bishop takes f6.
This may... you're going to take with the bishop.
Of course I am.
So this works.
This one works. All right.
I feel that we are going to blunder somehow.
Natürlich. Yes.
Natürlich.
Mais naturellement. God. All right.
Behave, Nigel.
Yeah, okay.
So queen c5. And do we have a move?
Do you think I could have gone into politics? I mean, Mr. Johnson could have become a chess player because he's got the right name for it. I mean, Boris is a pretty good name for a chess player.
Well, depends of which generation you're going to symbolize. So, young Krzysztof Duda is still thinking, so what is wrong with queen c5? Nigel, shall we get back to the women's tiebreak at least for a while?
Yep.
Because Anna Mizachuk was in such time trouble, and she is, I think, she has less than 1 minute on her clock.
Oh my goodness! But doesn't she have a?
Yes, let's have a look at the position. Rook e8 was played. Bishop d3, c5, rook e1, 6, knight e5. Anna is throwing all her pieces at her opponent.
Okay,
yes, so this was.
So, but this is a sort of standard idea. Yeah.
c4 was played to close this diagonal. Bishop f7, bishop d2, queen d8, and queen h2 to protect this knight. And does she have an immediate threat here?
There's no threat exactly, but I mean, queen c7 can be played. She's played it, queen c7 and then f4.
Okay.
And it's only a pawn for this.
Okay, and black goes b5 here.
Yeah. And this is a standard.
So you cannot take move. Because black will play c4.
But you could perhaps you could consider knight takes f7. Is that a move?
Let's see.
Queen takes f7.
She goes for knight f7
and then b3. I mean, it's like she's been playing correspondence chess. It really is terribly slow.
10 seconds per each move.
Yes.
But still, yes. Look at her opponent's time, 17 minutes left.
So it seems to me like she needs to play b4 because I don't think you can hold that. I mean, sooner or later. Okay.
Okay, because this could be a threat.
That is a serious threat.
And then bishop c4.
Yes.
So she has to deal with this, and she goes for b4. But then Nigel,
g4.
This transfer.
G4. Come on, Almira, show your flair.
Well, that's what I wanted to show, that if the knight comes back to f6 and to e4 or control the g4 square, then...
she's played g3. Why did she do that? She had g4. G4 takes f5. It's just crying out to be played. Rook f1 or rook h1. Rook h1. What are you doing there? And then bishop f5. It's really dangerous. Okay.
Bishop g5.
Rook to f1. Rook d to f1. Massive attack. Or is that a band? And bishop g5 coming. G3 is a very, very poor move because she's got knight f6. This is not a position for quiet moves. I mean,
well, that was her last chance probably to unbalance it.
Yeah, well, g4 is just very, very strong, I think.
So knight f6 and queen g2. You were discussing this maneuver with Nigel, so now this knight controls everything.
Yep.
And maybe you could still start with rook e5 here.
Well, yes.
Then
okay,
after queen g2, so let's say a5.
It's possible that a5 is possible.
a5 and rook e5.
Okay.
I think that was the idea behind queen g2.
Maybe that's
rook
right.
E5 and
well,
rook
it's
E1.
also she keeps an eye on that.
On this rook. Yes.
On this rook.
So let's see. A5 was played. Well, this is quite a dramatic game. I didn't expect Anna to be so
it's very
low
odd.
on time.
Very, very odd.
So it's like she had difficulties adjusting to this time control from the classical game. Or maybe it was also difficult for her to find additional motivation, for
very peculiar sometimes. Very peculiar.
And what was played?
I'm really astonished she didn't play G4 because I mean that should be played in a flash. I think she's in huge trouble.
A4, b takes a3, and rook e8. Okay. She wants queen e8, rook e1. And then let's say...
but maybe rook takes e8.
But then rook takes... maybe I can simply take it here.
You can, perhaps. She's done it.
Okay, let me have a look at that.
However, maybe 94? 94?
Yes,
94.
You don't have rook a8 anymore, so 94.
And
with knight c3.
Yeah, this is. It's possible that I should
include
insert.
a2. I was thinking about this.
Probably we should insert
before.
a2.
Yes, a2 here, and let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe king b2. King b2 and knight e4. Let's see. Because of course I just wanted to show a2, king a2 was probably met by queen a7 and then queen d2, rook a8 now.
Correct.
So king b2 and knight e4. And knight c3 is coming.
So I think this is good. I like a2. And it's possible that she's gone there, king a1, and now knight e4.
So she went for king a1. Okay, this is such a human continuation. Yes, a2 and knight e4.
Honestly, it's a shocking positional mistake. I mean, it's a no, not a positional mistake. It's a shocking misjudgment of the initiative in this position, that she failed to take this opportunity with this g3 move to smash open the position. It's so automatic, I think. Takes f5. I mean, make use of your bishop. Your bishop is now aiming at the king.
Open all the files.
Open the files. Go for it.
Okay, Tanjungi is still thinking, so let's get back to the
the other guys.
Semi-finals. Yes, young Krzysztof Duda went for knight e5 here. We'll have the position on your screen. So attacking this bishop, bishop a4.
Strange move. Takes. Okay.
So he exchanged a few minor pieces and the rooks and queen a1.
That's a very geometric defense, isn't it?
Do we think something?
I'm trying to think. Yes. It's very difficult thinking and speaking at the same time.
Let's flip the board.
Yeah.
Maybe it will help us.
So, Almira, are women good at multitasking? Was that a yes?
No, sorry. Actually, I was thinking. I was talking to myself.
You were talking to yourself silently.
Silently, yes. I was trying to calculate the variation, and I couldn't. Well, I do look like all those players, you know, when we watch every day. So, I think it's a very individual thing, so you cannot generalize here. No, but I know. So We just want to have the world champion perspective. Yes. So.
Yeah, knight h5 looks
knight
like
h5.
Yeah, looks like the right movie. So you open the diagonal for the bishop, and you maybe get knight f4 in. I can play like Magnus on a good day. With the following wind.
Well, I think there is an app which is called Play Like Magnus.
Play Magnus, yeah, that's right.
It's Play Magnus.
Yeah,
it's not Play
Magnus,
like Magnus.
And you know, you have all these people who are saying, you know, I can beat Magnus when he's 3 years and 6 months old, you know, whatever. But I struggle against him when he's 4.
Yes, now that I can come back to your questions, so I think multitasking while playing chess, you know, it is very difficult. I really need to be in a state of trance, you know, so optimal concentration, forget about everything.
Yeah.
So being a commentator is quite a challenge.
It is.
I realized that
you're talking about.
I have hallucinations all the time.
Yeah. Have you ever tried yoga?
Yes.
Does it help?
Well,
or just sends you to sleep? No, I'm curious. I mean, maybe because I've never tried this at all.
Well, it depends because there are all forms of yoga. So I was mostly doing Pilates, which is more dynamic and very physical one.
Pontius Pilates, is that? Is that the one?
So I'm not so sure if it helps you to multitask.
Yeah.
So bishop c3.
Yeah, so he's
get back to this.
That is coordinating quite well. I've got a feeling this is heading for a draw. It's still a bit of tension in the position, but there are not that many pieces remaining, and if we get some
Nigel,
exchanges...
Yes, I think we're missing something because bishop b5 is possible, because if you take, then I take, and what do? I will take here.
Oh, right.
And then if your rook is hanging.
Yeah, so
you take, I can take.
Yeah, but if I would take your queen...
Yes, bishop b... this.
Yeah,
bishop
and
a1.
take back.
But then rook e4, bishop h6.
Yeah,
yes?
I'll try and checkmate or something. I don't know.
Then I can simply go for rook e8.
Go back. Anyway, there are a lot of fast moves being played, so let's get there.
Queen c2. Queen a7 and queen b3. So 3 minutes. Oh no. Those are completely different images. I wanted to have a look at the clock. I think that's
we're showing
a bit more than 3 minutes. And
we're showing the other game.
And 4 minutes for Magnus Carlsen. So Anna is still down to her 20 seconds, yes, in this game. And Tan Zhongyi is still pressing.
Yes. I wish we could have the image of the other game, but so what's happening here? Can we just...
Queen a7 and queen b3 was played.
Is queen d7 a move here? Looks... what's wrong with queen d7? Just queen e6 is the problem. But that's it. So simple. So you need to be careful with
So actually Magnus is playing for a win.
Oh yeah, he's clearly playing
he played
for a
queen
win.
c2.
Yeah, he's definitely playing for the
So
win.
queen a7 attacking on f7, queen b3, and we have queen c5 and knight a4 on the board.
Yeah, I think Magnus is... I mean, White's position is loose, and this is dangerous
All
when
the
you're
pieces
short
are actually...
when you're short of time. And bishop takes e5, knight d3 is already in the air.
You know, it's very curious to have a position where almost all your pieces are loose.
Yes.
You know, the only pieces which is protected for the moment is knight on e5. But then look at this. After knight f4, there are so many threats. So
can we do rook e3? Is that a move?
Is this like the immediate threat, bishop b5, let's say, and then knight d3?
Yeah,
yes?
it's rook e3. Looks. I just like to defend things in the meantime.
So rook e3 here?
Yes.
So you're protecting the bishop,
but then queen d1 check and knight.
But queen
rook e1.
Queen d1, rook e1, yes, and you would simply repeat.
That's a
yes. Rook e1. But what did you want to?
I wanted knight e2.
Do after knight e2, and then king a.
No, I wanted to do it a minute ago, but even here. No, king f1. By the way, is probably
king f1 is better. But no, because you have bishop b5 here.
Yeah, okay. So king f1.
But
king f1.
Bishop queen f5.
Rook takes queen.
And rook d1 and knight c3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. But here we have knight e2 and king f1, of course.
Queen c2.
And young Krzysztof is still thinking.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. So if you take on e2, then you want to do what?
Oh, you're just winning immediately. You're just winning.
Okay, let's see. He went for rook e3.
Yeah, it's gone rook e3. Yeah.
Can we do it the other way around? Maybe you should take first. Take and now queen d1.
Yes, you can do that.
Because now you don't have.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to win, are you? You're never going to win. So you play king h2.
And this.
And then I take.
You want to take on e2? Okay.
Yeah. Well, what else? And then f3. And are you really ever going to win this?
Yes, and this diagonal.
No chance at all, I think, of winning this.
Yes, then that doesn't work. Okay. Okay, let's start once again. Queen d1, rook e1.
Yes.
We have nothing with knight h3. Doesn't work.
Rook takes e5 doesn't work.
Because you simply take. And then take.
No. You play queen c8 check and win a queen.
Oh, queen c8. But I wanted to go for mate.
What mate? Where's your mate?
Like and
knight e6.
And knight e6. Okay, doesn't work, of course. So then, okay, 5 queen c8 is winning.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
No, look. There are some people in the chat saying, why didn't we have a computer evaluation? We're actually, it's a choice. There are, other sites where you can watch people just pushing the engines. These people are in severe time trouble, or at least Duda is in severe time trouble. What are the things, what are his sort of thought processes? This is what we're considering here. So we are trying to understand what's going on in his mind, what difficulties are. Now, if you just see the correct move with an engine, you have no real concept of what's going through their heads when they're playing.
And also sometimes the evaluation could reflect the only moves, for example, and this is not the line like we saw in the game between Alexander Gerechkin and Alexander Kostyanyuk. Alexander Gerechkin was not even considering this rook d1, rook d6.
Yeah, but that was
So sometimes
yes.
It could be +5, but you need to make, let's say, 5 or 6 only moves.
Yes. I didn't think that was so. I mean, 1 or 2 people said it was very difficult. I didn't think it was very difficult at all. And Emil Sutovsky also didn't think it was very difficult. He said there were basically only 2 or 3 candidate moves. And it's just that she probably went for, you know, maybe. I mean, the first thing you do is look at checks and see whether you can deliver things immediately. So here's a repetition.
And especially, I think that when we look at these variations, it also shows how easy it is to blunder.
It is,
especially during the time trouble, because there are so many tactical ideas.
You've got seconds. But now I think, now is the key moment here.
Magnus has less time right now.
Does he?
Yes, he has.
My goodness.
He has 22 seconds left and 49 seconds for Duda. He has to go for the repetition here.
I suspect he will. I suspect he's going for it. And it will be drawn. Yeah, that's it. Handshake. Okay.
Okay, let's switch to... this is the game right now. Queen f4 was just played.
Oh, wow.
Tan won a few pawns, so she collected the pawn on f4 and g3, while Anna Mizachuk took the a2 pawn, the dangerous a2 pawn. So what do you think? Well, black is still much better, if not winning.
Well, black is 2 pawns up.
I was looking for a trick. Can we play b4, then c5?
Well, that's not a trick. That is, I would say, quite a sensible way of going about things.
Let's say b4, she takes b4.
And
well,
she's done it.
She has to go for it.
Yeah. Because it's one of those positions where you have to create counterplay very, very quickly. And if you fail to do that, you're in huge trouble. So, yeah, takes and then c5 is probably the way forward. And she's done it. So she's now got, and she's making use of her light squared bishop now. Now the question is, I'm looking at knight somewhere, knight f6 perhaps, knight f6.
Knight f6. Let's say why bishop f8 is not
Queen
correct.
d7
Queen
check.
d7 check, and then d7. Or for example, if I would... no, then we can lose this one.
No, you're losing this one.
I'm forced to play bishop g7 and c6, and if I can, if I would want to defend like in this way, then
c6,
take
c6,
or c6 even.
Yeah.
Yes, because this is the threat now, so you have to take, let's say bishop b7 and bishop d4.
Yeah.
And this is a different story.
Absolutely.
Even though after knight f6, yes, you have bishop b5.
Okay.
So c5 was played.
So not so easy.
Bishop. So you wanted to go for knight f6?
Yes, because that's got 2 ideas. I think she's gone. Has she gone the right way? It's probably also possible. I thought queen d6 could be annoying.
Then I don't have to take if you play queen d6, no?
Oh, king's come up.
She played queen b3. Can I have to push h5.
h5, yeah, sooner or later.
Now, king b4, amazing. This is such an amazing move.
Well, not the...
No, you have to protect c5, this pawn, and then h4
this
of course.
Pawn is... Where is that black pawn? Honestly. I mean, I'm serious. That would annoy me.
So if queen f3?
Look at it on the screen. Where is that black pawn? It's on, is it h4 or h3?
Well, it's like on roulette, it's on four numbers.
Did she lose on time?
Oh, no. What happened?
What happened?
Well, we haven't seen. Okay, Tan Zhongyi won, so probably Anna Muzyczuk lost on time.
I think she lost on time.
Mm-hmm.
Did she lose on time?
This is the final position, and I don't have any moves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could just check the clock.
Yes, she lost
she
on
lost
time.
on time. She failed.
She failed to make her last move.
Yeah. Wow. It's a very difficult position.
So let's have a look at the results. Tan Zhongyi wins the first game of the ladies' tiebreak. They're playing with black. They're playing for the bronze medal and for the prizes.
Okay. We are going to have a short break because they're on in 10 minutes.
Yes, the games are going to start in 10 minutes.
We will be there. And Magnus Carlsen will be white in the next game against Jan Krzysztof Duda. So don't go far. There's a quick turnaround back in about 9 minutes now.
time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Welcome back. Second game now in the tie-breaks in the semi-final. Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces.
Nigel, you're too quiet. It's like we should start like, we are ready to rumble. Let's go.
Well, we are. that much is true. And in the third place playoff in the women's, horrible game. I mean, really horrendous from Anna Muzichuk. I mean, she's a great player, but she just looked completely out of it. Horrible time management, and just about everything went completely wrong. So we'll see whether she can bounce back. She's got her back to the wall. Obviously, she's got the black pieces, so she's going to be under pressure.
The game's just started. The world champion Magnus Carlsen
has gone for the what do you call that? The Rossolimo, isn't it? With the bishop b5 check. And I'd be interested to see what Magnus has in mind. I always like the setup with knight f6 and then maybe a quick g6 here. We'll see what he's going to do. Somebody's pointing out that Duda is extremely strong in rapid chess, so he's probably even better than he is at a regular time control. So, all right. So let's see, bring this up to date. We got the Queen e2 and some theoretical stuff. The pieces are coming. Magnus is trying to get the pawn center. He's doing that. And this is very, very quiet line for white, where just white will obtain a small space advantage. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering exactly what Magnus's idea is. I've played in similar ways myself, actually. In general, these positions are considered to be more or less equal, mm-hmm. not that dangerous. Although long-term, white's extra space advantage could be serious, particularly in an endgame.
Okay, now we've solved my microphone issues. Okay. Thank you so much for waiting. Actually, I know this line rather well because I've played many times myself, and well, this is a very positional line with bishop b5 and bishop d7. So here, normally after knight e4, you would go for bishop e3, bishop e7, but Magnus started with knight bd2. Mm-hmm.
It's a very strange choice that bishop b4 has been played. I think mm-hmm. white should keep the pieces on.
Knight d2, mm-hmm. bishop d2.
It's played, yeah.
And normally you would play bishop b7 here. Let's just continue.
He's gone bishop b4. I think Magnus should keep the bishops on. I mean, in general, you don't do that in this opening, but
yes.
Maybe Duda's idea is after bishop e3, he wants to play his bishop back to e7, and then he possibly has some knight a5, knight c4 available. So it may be that he's trying to coax this white bishop off this diagonal.
Also, I wanted to explain a little bit the character of what could happen, for example, after bishop e7. Sometimes you can play, let's say, g3, castle, king g2, even h4,
Yeah.
then you can double on the c file or simply
Yes.
protect the
Yes.
d4 pawn and then go for the attack. And black should strike with f6 here.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's also possible to exchange things off on the C file.
But for example, if I don't double on the c file, I simply put my rook here, and it will be very difficult for you to do so.
I'm just wondering, knight c8, knight b4, and then
Knight where? Sorry?
rook c8,
Wait.
knight b4. Sorry, rook c8, knight b4.
Rook c8. I can start with a3, then you will play knight a5. Let's say if I
It's very
simply play rook
difficult
g1, knight b4, a3,
Yeah, rook c2.
rook c2, rook d2.
Okay, and then we exchange. So my point is that
And knight c6 back.
knight c6, the exchanges generally favor black. Now, maybe f6 could be a reasonable idea.
Well, you could also go for a more traditional plan. You could play rook c1 here, and then simply double your rooks.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. He's probably wondering whether he should keep he should exchange the bishops. It's like one of those curious paradoxes that when you have your pawns fixed on blank squares, a black squared bishop is considered to be bad. But here, if we look in the position, black is trying to exchange off his good bishop against Magnus's bad bishop. And the reason that Magnus is considering keeping the bishops on is because there is another factor in play, and it's the space advantage.
So
He's done something which I
think here, like after bishop d2, bishop b4, rook c1 is possible as well, but I think Magnus played bishop f4 and
Wow.
castle.
bishop f4 is an interesting choice. That wouldn't have occurred to me. And maybe that's a prophylactic move in anticipation of f6, Almira.
That is possible, of course. I told you that that was one of the ideas. If you play with g3 and h4,
Yes.
so then bishop f4 castle, and Magnus went for queen d3.
I'm expecting bishop
Can
to
this be a threat? Bishop e7 back?
Yes.
So bishop e7 here.
But I'm wondering whether knight g5 is good anyway there. I mean, should white go in this direction?
No, but if you can provoke g6, yes, then why
Yeah,
not?
well, I'm just wondering, because sometimes these
Maybe
things, I think he has retreat.
But then after bishop e7, if he...
I'm just wondering whether this...
I want
Knight
to go-
g5 now?
No, I want to go g3. No. Here, like, I wanted to go knight
Why?
g...
I want to mate you.
Oh, you still want to go for knight g5?
I do, I do.
Because... So if I'll
So take. And I'll take.
And, well, you will have to protect the d4 pawn by rook a d1 on the next
maybe,
move.
Maybe.
Because you cannot go for queen g3, I will take, and knight f5.
Yes.
Okay, that was the defensive maneuver as well. But in this position, I also have a knight e7 and knight f5. So
Well, or g4.
Yes.
It's always going to get kicked
But then
away.
how are you going to mate me? With queen g3?
He's played a3, which is a weakening move. So that is a move which acknowledges it's a... I mean, he's fixing his pawns in a way. Well, he's not exactly fixing them. He's placing them in a way that you normally wouldn't want to. But it has a specific idea, and that is to prevent knight b4. In general, black
How am I
is
dealing?
looking for knight a5, knight c4, or play down c-file. Does he look bored, Jan Krzysztof? Or is he just a calm person?
Well, he has...
Yeah, you'll tell me.
Well, I think maybe it was an interesting choice of the opening because this position is very calm. Yes. And Jan Krzysztof has such an attacking and aggressive style of play. So here he has to keep his cool and to equalize.
Mm-hmm.
Not many attacking perspectives here.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this? He started with rook c8.
That's a good move because, first of all, he puts a rook on the open file. It's not clear whether this knight needs to move as yet. So he's just improving the position of his pieces and asking Magnus what he is going to do. Possible.
Can we still go for this standard plan? King g3, king g2, h4. I want to go h4.
Go
yes.
h4 immediately.
We start with h. But then, can I play f6 here, or it's premature?
You can. Perhaps you're right.
That's why I wanted to start with g3, yes, and then h4.
Yes, maybe you're right.
Just to protect my bishop.
He's done it. Almira. You play like Magnus Carlsen. Did you see this Norwegian guy in the 400 meters hurdles, by the way? What a run.
Yes, you're talking about the Olympics, of course.
My God.
He broke the world record.
He didn't break the world record.
He didn't?
He annihilated it. I mean, he absolutely destroyed it. What an incredible race.
No, I also saw a very unusual situation where a double gold medal was awarded.
Yes, that's right. In the high jump.
Yes.
In fact, I was talking with the FIDE president about that very same incident last night in the restaurant over some delicious food and plenty of wine.
Because we had a precedent during the online chess Olympiad where the double gold medal was awarded.
That was exactly his comment. He said, "Did you see that somebody did like I did at the online Olympiad, awarded two golds?"
Yes, but truth to be told, that was not exactly the same situation.
Of course, it wasn't. I mean, it was due to a technological failure. And a tough decision had to be made, not an entirely satisfactory decision, it must be said, but maybe the best under the circumstances.
Nigel, should we continue with our plan and play king g2? Okay, then maybe...
He's gone b3.
He's gone b3 already.
Yes.
Okay. And that was the question I wanted to ask. Should we play b3 or not? It's not so easy to exploit for the moment. And then if you will attack my pawn, I will simply play rook b1. But then a3 pawn will be hanging. So b3. If we simply try to double on the c file, for example, rook c7.
Then we go. Then we will go h4 and bishop d2. So you can do that. I'll put my bishop back on d2 immediately.
To control the square.
And to take your knight.
Maybe they can simply play b6 here.
You can. And I shall ignore everything and play king g2, which was your plan, and then checkmate on h7.
So chess is easy, yes?
Chess is very easy. Chess made easy. I think that was the title of a book, wasn't it? Okay,
young Krzysztof Duda is thinking for the moment. Let's have a quick look at this game. Only seven moves were played for the moment. So
is it...
Yes, and look at the opening. Anna Muzychuk went for a gambit.
Wow.
You were hungry for some chess. I was actually so glad to hear when Sergei Karyakin was in the studio that even though he had problems with his motivation, he managed to to get this hunger back.
Yes.
He worked so hard to prepare for this tournament, and we clearly see that, it works. So E5.
I never have problems being hungry. I'm always ready. It's
97.
This is an unusual. I think Magnus has played this himself, maybe in Blitz chess. I did not know this a while ago. I'm pretty sure Magnus has played this rubbish.
So let me check.
In Blitz chess.
A quick run on my computer, and we will find. Yes, Magnus did. You're absolutely.
You see, it's very nice because you normally put me to shame with your theoretical knowledge, but here is one occasion I can show that.
This is.
Look, it's even from this year that I managed to.
And also Daniel Dubov played this against Sam Shankland, and Magnus Carlsen played this with black against Andrew Tang. So what is the idea behind 97?
It's an Albin counter gambit where you don't commit yourself.
So normally, just to explain the difference, that here you would go for this line, D4. Then 97 was played recently. So
and where was Albin from? Almira. Where was he from?
You know?
I think he was wasn't he from your neck of the woods? Wasn't he Romanian?
Well, I was born in Moldova.
It's about the same thing, isn't it? It's pretty close.
Well, purists would argue with you. So, but Nigel, let's say C takes D5. How would you take here?
Queen.
With a queen. Queen D5.
Exchange.
An exchange.
And I'm saying development. I'll tell you who else was into the Albin counter gambit. I remember a conversation with Rustam Kazimjanov, and I don't think he's played it too often in serious games. But there is an argument for it.
I'm absolutely amazed that the players are aware of the theory here, even with white. I think Tang Zhongyi was surprised with this opening choice, but she played knight f3, so knight c6, knight bd2.
This is some wild chess.
And then that was played in one game only, and that was, of course, Shankland Dubov. So d takes c4. They still follow the game.
And Dubov won this game.
E3 and knight g6 was played here.
Well, that's different. But b5 is
so Anna
very...
Anna tries something very concrete. So she protects the pawn. So a4, a standard reaction just to break these chains of pawns. Bishop g4. So
she's basically dropping material, is that right? Or, well, not exactly, because she's captured a pawn. So it still maintains material equality.
So knight e5.
But queen a4 seems to be a little bit awkward for white, for black rather.
So we are threatening to take on e5,
We're threatening to take because we're not going to get mated like the Duke of Brunswick.
So with her last move, Tang Zhongyi simply unpinned her queen.
She did, and she also
maybe you're threatening
at
this
some
move.
point.
Yes,
at some point, b6 check is coming in the air,
and we're going to take on c4 as well.
We'll take on c4, and so we're doing very well.
So this seems
like a very good move.
Yes, this seems to be very difficult for this position for black. So
perhaps
maybe knight g6,
knight g6
knight g6 now. Okay, let's
Yeah, so how are you going to play against that?
Which one?
Knight, which one? Which one? What sort of a question is that? My golly gosh. Knight g6. Then what do you want to do?
Oh, because I think that you need to keep this knight also just in case to protect this bishop.
Of course I do.
Knight 7 g6, and how to continue here?
You tell me.
Can we? Okay, we cannot take immediately with the knight because knight f3
yes.
Is possible. So maybe bishop b2.
You can.
And then no, knight d3 is nothing here. So.
It's possible. It's possible. Bishop e7 maybe. Is that good? Or knight takes e5 is a good response. So bishop e2 is modest, but possibly good.
But knight e5, then if you... Okay, we have knight c6 as well. Okay.
Yeah. Can we go back just one move? Bishop e7 was insipid. So let me try knight d3 check.
That was my first try, but I was not sure.
Yeah, takes, queen takes. Let's say.
Can I take on c4? Or maybe now I can start with b6.
Yeah, b6. It's going to be very good. It's very good.
And I have this horrible threat of taking an a7 with the queen.
Yeah.
So
indeed,
this is a very difficult position for black. Actually, what I wanted to say, so maybe knight g6 was preferred here. Yes. Instead of b5, simply trying to recapture this pawn. What do you think?
Yeah, that's logical. Very, very logical. b5 is a very ambitious move.
Because knight g6, queen a4 could simply be met with bishop d7 here, and then you capture.
Maybe it's too dull.
Okay. Back to the semifinals.
Yes, the champion du monde. Du monde.
Let's have a look at the position. So he started with the queen c6, bishop d2, and queen b6. He wanted to attack this pawn on
Magnus
b3.
is keeping everything tight at the back.
What do you think, Nigel? What I thought is that maybe Magnus' strategy is the following. So he needs to play a simple position and wait for Duda to crack, because he would go for something aggressive.
Well, I'm not totally convinced that Duda is so wild as a player. However, I think Magnus excels in these quiet positions where he's got something to play for. He's not risking a colossal amount at the moment.
Also, we should not neglect their scores. Of course, Magnus is leading in their personal encounters, but I wanted to talk about the tiebreak score, because the only tiebreak I have ever seen where Magnus lost, it was against Dinglerens, but in my memory he won everything else. So he never loses on tiebreaks. He has nerves of steel, so this should be taken into account. But against Andrei Yesipenko, he was put to a test during this tournament. He was clearly relieved when this was over. So bishop d2, was played. And b1, a6, king g2. He continues,
Knight c6.
slightly improving.
Knight c6. I mean, he's had to move that back.
Then h4, or not at all.
Curious move, actually. Rook e1. So maybe
he wants
it's that move that you were so bothered about. I expected this.
And queen b5,
and it was played almost immediately. And It's offering an exchange.
Yeah. So queen b5.
No,
yeah, I know that I don't. I have queen b1 as well. I just wanted to have a quick look at this position.
Yeah.
And then simply rook a8.
I've got an idea here. Queen b1.
Yes.
And then knight a5, rook e3. I just keep everything. And in fact, yeah, I think he's going to go queen b1.
So let's.
He just controls all the squares.
Rook c6.
Sorry, I even had a4 the previous move, but
let's say where.
I'm not so sure.
Knight a5, a4.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best. That
So
gives you a square.
If
that
queen
gives
b3 we can take here.
Yeah.
So then.
So he's gone queen b1. I think he probably wants to keep his pawns where they are.
Okay, so let's continue.
And then rook e3, rook c6, h4.
h4.
And now rook a2. And now I say to you, Almira, what is your knight doing on this very stupid square?
Well, rook a2 is a very nice maneuver to protect the c2 square. But okay, let me see. And
knight c4.
I cannot invade the
c4,
seigneur, yes. But now I have knight c4.
And then so it doesn't work. So I have to be more careful. Knight c4 is the problem, so there are pins.
Young Krzysztof is still thinking about knight a5. Because he started with rook c7, then h4 was played, rook c8. Maybe he can start with rook a2, but then knight a5 still.
Yes.
So if we start with rook a2, knight a5, and then...
Tell us.
I don't know if I'm in time, but I have... Maybe if I force you to take on g5 and h take g, I will open the h file. Maybe I can mate you there.
Are people saying I sound like Inspector Clouseau?
Yes. I was talking about the Pink Panther. But Peter Sellers is he's just a comic genius. He's coming and says, have you got a room?
A room?
So of course, but like his best movie is probably The Party. Have you seen this one? He's coming to a party and invited, and he manages to destroy it all. Everything crumbles. Others. So, do we have?
And what was that last one? Was it Being There? That was.
Yes, Being There as well. Yes.
Well, that was a very.
So he starts with rook a2. You see?
Yes.
Let's see if. And then let's see knight a5. What I wanted to try is bishop b5. I don't want to give up this bishop, but if knight g5 here, you will simply play g6.
Yeah.
Because then you have all this line now. Okay. Because if bishop g5.
Yes.
And then rook h1, but
no,
I think it's too slow anyway. Okay. Rook a2.
So knight a5.
Knight a5, and can we start? Oh, okay, this is hanging. I wanted to start with knight g5.
I'm just wondering, can we do some... He's gone knight a5. Does he have some funny... Now Magnus's position is starting to get a little bit creaky. He's got to have to make some tough decisions here.
Well, that's what I wanted to make this point. So... do you have to give up your bishop here? I mean,
I'm wondering about because
to exchange it.
But then Black's pieces are arranged very, very well indeed.
So if we consider bishop a5 here, queen a5, do we have something quicker than knight g5?
Black is all right.
Yes, and rook comes to c3 as well. This, you're right. He went for a5, not knight a5. I just have the move on the board.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
He didn't play knight a5.
sorry. He played a5.
But
we didn't find a
we didn't find
response.
anything today. Hopefully for us.
Yeah. We're really struggling there. Yeah.
So now, like, okay. That's the start of a different plan here. He wants to play a4 and then to have the c4 square at his disposal. So should we? And we cannot play a4 because then this square is going to be weak forever.
You can. And maybe it's not a bad move.
But then how? How do you continue here? Knight g5?
No. Then I'm worried about my d pawn.
Okay, yes, of course. The d pawn is
Yes. Slightly annoying.
Because
thing.
you can
I'm just
play
wondering,
queen d3.
is Magnus under pressure or not?
But he's under pressure from the beginning of the tournament, because he has everything to lose.
Yes.
So the tournament didn't start yet. He was under pressure already.
Let's just remind ourselves: any mistake at this point is the end of the tournament, isn't it?
Yes, this system, this format doesn't forgive anything.
No.
So I don't like a4, Nigel. We cannot do this. So knight g5, we are concerned with this one. Yes, so you can simply take on d4.
Philosophically, I want to ask you, Almira, do arguments become more convincing if they're written in capital letters? Is that so? If you make your chats in capital letters, does that make them stronger?
Why is that?
I'm just wondering.
Maybe that's simply a small ruse to be seen.
Okay.
That's, I think, yes. It's just sometimes you use this if you want to be noticed.
Okay.
And Magnus went, rook h1. He's preparing knight g5.
Yes. And if a4
that's such a clever move.
And if a4 now.
Mm-hmm.
Rook h1, please explain, Sir Nigel. Well, Sir Nigel will explain that White wants knight g5. And if that's taken, he will take with the h-pawn.
Yes.
So let's, and then checkmate on h7 or in that vicinity.
Nigel, while we still have time, I wanted simply to get back to our third place tiebreak, because only 12 moves were played. We sort of anticipated this variation, and this is the position on the board. So queen a7, rook d8. Well, the pawn is almost promoting here. What is like after b7, you still have knight c6, but that's about it.
And how is knight e5
I think,
first?
let's have a look. I think that we have a few moves. Knight e5.
Has that been played?
Knight e5 and queen d5.
Yeah, now b7. Peut-être.
And b7, yes, right now. So this is completely lost. And what do you do here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Anna Muzichuk is having
just a bad day.
Bad day at the office.
I think that
bad hair day.
Oh, bad hair day. You know that the editor-in-chief of New in Chess, Dirk Jan told me that
Ten Goosendam,
yes, told me that the Dutch have this funny expression that as long as your hair is okay, then everything is fine.
Oh, right.
So he told me that I shouldn't worry about anything else. But this game is about to be over.
Well, she hasn't played b7 yet. She's considering b takes c7, which is
b takes c7 is also possible here.
Also very strong. Rook c8 and then knight takes c4. Knight something that's
too well.
Well, I don't know.
You have this queen g2, but
no, you don't have queen takes g2. That's going to.
I mean, I wanted to show it, yes, but then this is very beautiful. So then b takes c7 with knight c4 and knight b6 also. But then, but b7 doesn't win on the spot. What do you want here? To take
I don't know
queen?
I don't know what I want. Don't ask me to play this position, please.
Okay, yes.
I thought you were my friend, Almira. Why are you asking me to play this?
Oh, is she?
She's gone knight.
Knight d7.
Which is.
Queen g2. Rook f1 simply, and then b7 next. King d7, but queen c7 is.
Niet.
Knight c6.
No.
Okay, but
no, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Simply queen c7 here, yes.
Yeah, rook takes d7 is the idea.
But then I can play queen c8 and b7.
Probably.
Yeah, this position is hopeless. So let's get back to
all right.
The world champion. He's playing with white pieces against young Krzysztof Duda. May I say the fearless young Krzysztof Duda?
Yeah, don't dismiss him. I wouldn't say Magnus looks. He
looks concerned.
I wouldn't say he looks desperate, but I think he's got some. He does have some worries here.
So rook h1, a4 was played. He continues with his plan, b4. So this square became weak forever.
Yes.
But how to make use of it? Just are we going to put our rook here? Queen.
He's gone h6, I think.
h6. Okay, you need to.
Was it h6 or h5? Did he? How far up the board is that? I can't see from this distance.
Well,
he might even have gone all the way.
h6, I think, was played because I just have a move.
All
this moved on the board. So yes, he has to prevent knight g5. But does it prevent from knight g5? Can I play it still?
Almira.
So what do you do?
I take it.
So you're accepting
the
Greek knight?
I accept your
and g6.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
And then I play bishop f8, bishop g7, and then you resign.
And this rook is out of play completely. I need to bring it here, yes.
Yeah, you need that in action. It's thematic, but not quite working.
Okay. Bishop b3, protecting the d4 pawn. So we would still have knight d2 in order to cover this square.
Knight a7. I'm just wondering if that's the right way.
But why not? I was thinking about this move because you wanted to bring.
Well, that's the ambitious move.
Ambitious. Somehow you will play queen c4, queen b3, maybe. But
I think his idea is just rook c3 and queen d3. If he gets the queens off, I mean, just black has got a crushing position. So rook c3, queen d3, it blocks the diagonal, and then knight b5 would come after an exchange. So this looks awkward. Those pieces come off. You are really, really crushed.
Can I try this?
You can.
Now that you
Rook
played knight
C3.
c6, okay,
Rook
rook
C3.
c3. Well, I have to do something like in the previous game, g4.
Yeah.
So g5.
And if g5, h5.
h5, g6.
g6, queen d3.
So
the party's over, Almira. I'll take. And my knight is coming. My queen's coming to e4. My knight to b5.
No, okay, I have to do it g4, rook c3. Now I have to protect the square. Let me find a way to do so. Can I? Okay, maybe knight e1 is too slow. Maybe not. If I do it like this.
Oh no!
Because,
surely not.
Queen c4.
Queen c4.
So g5.
I'll go h5 anyway.
g6.
Queen, not queen b3. I can already think of that. I can play some play.
Well,
Maybe I shouldn't have allowed that.
Well, desperate times, desperate measures, as they say. But
quite. Oh, this is remarkable.
But Magnus went for bishop d2. He protected this square, so rook c3 is no longer possible. Well, and he keeps this idea in mind, and I think. And basically,
so
you
if I
could
play,
have played
if I
this
play
as well.
h5 here with black,
You just played h6. You're not going to play h5.
I'm going to do it.
Psychologically, it is very difficult.
Of course, it's difficult.
So, okay, h5.
Although knight g5 is still possible. Knight g5 is still a possible.
I really don't believe that it is possible. What is going on here?
Can we just check what
just
happened in the other game? Is it over already? Or?
I don't know. That is the position on the board.
Looks pretty horrendous, doesn't it? Tan Zhongyi looks like she's going to wrap up this match very, very comfortably today. So, and the third place, and the only Chinese player in the women's tournament.
Well, if she wins this match, she is going to win the bronze medal.
Yes.
Of the Ladies World Cup. This is quite an achievement.
Oh, it is.
So she won the Women's World Championship in 2017, defeating Anna Muzychuk in the final match. Maybe
she's completely psyched out because she's played horribly, hasn't she? I mean, it's seriously under par. And maybe that's it. It all comes flooding back. That she was, Muzychuk was probably the clear favourite in that match. And she lost it. Maybe she feels she's been thinking, I lost my only chance to become world champion, because opportunity doesn't knock that often. And sometimes you get one chance alone and you've got to take it. Let's go back to Magnus.
Queen e2, rook e1.
Okay, so now queen c4, I guess.
Queen c4.
And now it's no longer mate. So queen, what was wrong with queen e2? What was wrong with bishop takes h6, rook c2? Was that the idea?
Let's...
the move before. So the point was bishop takes h6, rook c2. That attacks the queen, by the way, I should point out. It attacks the black queen.
Sorry, I wanted to...
So therefore, I
rook
think
c2.
2. And after takes...
Queen c2.
I got...
and then knight b5
No,
is
not
coming,
queen c2. I want rook c2.
Rook c2 you want.
Yeah, I want to annihilate you.
Rook c2. And then you would simply take.
Yeah, so you have to play bishop e3, and then maybe knight b5. It starts to become unstuck. That's what it feels like.
Okay, so let's have a look at the game because a few moves have been played. So rook e3, and what was the last move, Nigel? Can you?
Rook e3, knight b5.
Knight b5.
David, I can't pronounce these Polish names. Why everyone from the commentators says go back to Carlsen instead of Duda? Well, because Magnus is the world champion. And he's more famous. That is the answer.
Knight b5 and rook d3 was played. Yes, I was thinking that for the moment, all Duda's pieces are in optimal places. But okay, now you need to find something concrete.
Yes.
So Magnus went for rook d3, and is there a concrete continuation? Because for the moment, he covers all these squares.
He's glued his position together, hasn't he?
So, well, I cannot find
rook c6, which is a little bit of a nothing move.
Rook c6. So can you go for g4 here? I mean, now that you've done everything, so can you go?
You could.
But maybe it's too much. Maybe you simply have to wait. Let's go g4.
Okay.
All your pieces are on the queen side for the moment, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Not quite so easy. So he's got rook b2. These subtle moves, not really doing that much. Duda's queen is actually a little bit in the way here.
Rook c6 and rook b2.
He really wants his major pieces on that c file the other way around. Ah, this is his idea. Okay, now we've got the idea.
And bishop b6.
Oh, that was the point. So this is a very, very ambitious approach. So the bishop goes to b6. And does that break Magnus's position? I'm wondering, because how is he going to defend that d pawn? That's a very nice little maneuver. He's completely giving up on his own king side, and he's going to pile up all these pieces.
Sorry, I've been checking if we could have Alexandra Kostyniuk.
Oh, yes.
For a small interview today. Today is the closing ceremony of the ladies' event. So,
that's right. That's at 7:30, I believe.
So we might have a chance.
Okay. All right. Difficult to find a plan for Magnus. Maybe he has to put his pieces very, very passively, but I can't think this is going to work. Queen f1 and bishop e3 looks pretty hideous. Can he go for create some counterplay? Could he play a sort of Milner-Barry gambit? Give up his d pawn in the French?
But then you have this bishop. You have the bishop on d3 when you give up this pawn.
Yes. Yes.
So is there any way we can sacrifice something?
What's the time here? So I'm feeling some tension there with Magnus. He sort of looks like he's breathing.
So can we
heavily.
go for g4? We have to go for it.
Oh, okay. But how?
But then what do we do here?
No.
Can he's not queen. Or can I over... It's not even over...
I can't even...
How to protect?
I don't know how to protect it. His d-pawn is going to come under assault with this maneuver. It was a very clever move. I didn't see the point at first. And it's just a cunning regrouping.
Still, okay, let's try. What do you do here, Nigel? You continue with bishop b6? It's like all your pieces now are on the queen side. Nothing is protecting your king.
Yes.
So I have to go for it. Let's see.
Okay, so if I take with the bishop.
Oh, you don't even bother to...
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with
take,
anything. I'll make a threat.
Can I...
He's gone g4. Whoa, Almira, you're playing all moves of Magnus. Perhaps on the day he's going to lose, but you're playing all these moves today. You're doing so well.
No, I think that this is the most principled continuation here.
Well, we're struggling to find any defense. So if you can't find any defense, better go for attack.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't give it yet. I was thinking, okay, g4, bishop b6, all your pieces are on the queen side, so maybe I still have one more move to protect it. Then you would want to go knight c3, yes? And here I wanted to make this strange move, queen g1.
No, queen takes rook.
Queen takes rook, okay.
That would be strange.
That would be strange. Okay, then I need to protect my rook. How am I protecting it? Yes, I was forgetting this one. Knight c3, queen f1. Queen f1.
Queen f1.
Yes.
Yeah, knight e.
Sorry, it wants to go on g1. So queen f1.
Almira, he's playing all your moves.
Okay, but knight c3, queen f1.
Yeah, it's not so clear. Not so clear.
So
I can put the knight in on e4.
On e4,
but
then I can go for g5.
You can, although it's less matey. I can play h5 then myself.
h5. So that was my point. I wanted to do something with g6.
He's gone in. Knight c3.
Knight c3.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's just going to plonk that knight in on e4.
So, okay, let's see. Queen f1, knight e4, g5, h5. Okay, can I start with h5 then?
You can.
And then g5.
Yeah, you could. I'll play bishop d8.
Okay, bishop d8. And,
I'll stop all your activity.
This is a very strong move. Okay, then I have to... No, then I have to do g5, h5. And
I'm not so sure.
Okay, look at your knight, Nigel, here. Can I go for knight e1?
Well, you're not winning, are you? Even if you do. g6.
g6. Maybe I should start with knight e1.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. Knight e1. Okay, here. Knight e4. Let me start with knight e1.
Yeah, that's possible. Bishop d8 anyway.
Bishop d8 anyway, and f3.
Knight c3. No. I have bishop takes h4 there.
And bishop takes e1. Okay, f3, bishop takes h4, if takes e4, bishop takes e1, queen e1, and queen d3.
Ooh.
So,
yeah.
Okay, but still we have this position on the board. Queen f1 was played. So
did we get any more moves in the other game? Did they?
They're still playing.
Why?
Let me have a look. This is the position on the board. Okay, we just had a result. After Queen C8, Anna Muzichuk resigned.
Yeah, I think the king.
So Tan Zhongyi wins.
I'm just wondering, did she offer a draw or something?
No, it was a draw. Queen C8, yes.
I think that's just a. I mean, she's winning the match with a draw.
Tan Zhongyi won the match for the third place.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to finish the match.
She's the bronze medalist
completely
of this
winning in this position.
But so did Alexandra Kostyuniuk yesterday. She graciously offered to draw in the position where she was easily winning because it clinches the title.
Have they made their number of moves, by the way? Can they agree a draw in that? I'm serious.
These rules are applicable to the tiebreaks as well?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So Queen B5, not Knight E4.
I think they are applicable to the tiebreaks, aren't they?
What is about our time? 3 minutes left for Magnus. He played Rook C2 and a little bit more than 3 minutes for young Krzysztof Duda. So.
Yes. Knight E4 looks very, very good.
But why a Queen B5 and not Knight E4?
Well, I like this because he gets the pieces off and he's more likely to achieve...
Should he go for this?
Ooh. I'll take it with the bishop.
Okay.
And I'll move my rook back.
No, he doesn't go. All this is very speculative, of course, but then Knight D4?
Well, that was interesting. It's a very interesting idea. Queen C4, I suppose.
And Queen C4. But now I'm free to...
Okay, let's look at the position on the board.
So Rook C6 was played, and Rook D1.
And Duda is not exchanging, he's penetrating, and if he gets to pile in with his he wants Queen C6 and then to enter the position. So given another couple of moves...
But I still have Rook C1, yes, but Queen C6 still.
Yeah. Given another couple of moves, this is really, really nasty. Oh, Knight E1, Knight D2. Okay, did we have Knight E1, Knight D3 here? Okay, he's gone Knight D2. This is offering an exchange. Has to take that, I think. And then Queen somewhere, Queen C6. Maybe Magnus can glue it together because the bishop is not entering. That's the key point. That the bishop is not... Black bishop is not going to enter the position. And you're saying that we're right in time to protect this pawn, yes? If Queen C6 and Rook C3, then Rook D3 simply, but Queen C4, Queen B3? Yeah. I know, it's okay. We'll take at some point, yes. You may not succeed. Yeah, he's taken and gone Queen C6. Looks unpleasant. But if I simply play Rook D3, then Rook C2. Just wondering whether I can start to enter the position with Queen C4. And then you could perhaps bring the bishop round the other way. No, this is not Armageddon. This is the second game of the tiebreak. With Magnus Carlsen in a lot of trouble, I would say. So that's the position on the board. Magnus Carlsen has less than 2 minutes left, and he's under pressure in this game, even though the material balance
is still even in this game. He's suffering. What can we do here if not rook g3, queen e2, queen d1?
It's at moments like this where your fitness starts to make a very, very big difference, because you're not taking in enough oxygen sometimes. You know, your stress levels start going up and up and up because he's so short of time. But here, he's got to try and keep the heart rate down and the brain completely oxygenated. He's got the fidgeting.
He has to make a move. So queen e2 and rook c3. Nigel.
He's gone queen e2. He wants to try and
but now
advance.
You cannot do this. After queen c4, you're simply...
No, he's played queen e2.
No, but queen e2, rook c3, how do you protect this pawn?
With difficulty.
Maybe he wants to go for g5 here.
I think he does.
So rook c3, g5?
Yeah, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Here?
Yeah, and then can I go g6, or am I going to get mated? Should be good.
Just a second. Looking at something crazy.
Oh, that is... no, he's going... No. He's going to go down. Magnus, I think, is going to go down here. This is... I don't believe he's going to be able to defend in such a way. Okay, 2, so passive.
Nigel, this position is passive, but he still has this counterplay.
Queen c4?
Queen c4, queen d2.
And what?
But then if...
Rook d3 wins material.
Already?
Yeah, bishop takes d4.
So if I don't have this, yes, this is a very serious line. And then bishop d4. Okay.
There's also, I mean, queen c4 looks very good. You might just even play round the other way. I mean, you might just play bishop d8 just to keep things very much under control that way.
Queen c4, then I'm forced to take. Then if I take queen c4, what do you do? Queen c4, queen c4.
I'll take with the pawn.
Okay, if you take with the rook, maybe we can hold here, yes?
Well, maybe I'm not so sure, because how do you defend things? I'm winning material immediately.
Oh, yes.
He's gone bishop d8, and I
d2,
like that
rook c3, rook a2, and rook d3. Okay, let's see.
So Magnus has gone
rook, bishop d8
forward.
And g5. Well, this is such a dramatic moment, Nigel.
It is.
How many, like a little bit more than 20 seconds left for Magnus Carlsen. So young Krzysztof takes, take on g5, and will he survive here? Queen c4?
I don't think queen c4 does that break? He's gone there. Is that going to break him? Can he go berserk? Queen h5? No, he can't do queen h5. No, he can't, because
and g6.
G6 is the response. I've got a feeling all moves are good here. D takes c4 is probably crushing. He wants d takes c4 and b5. And rook takes c4 is also good. He's taken d takes c4.
D takes c4, and maybe you need to bring your king to.
Well, bishop takes g5 is the problem.
Bishop takes g5. So if we play king f3, then bishop takes g5.
Yeah, it's under huge pressure. The thing is, if black gets in the move b5, which is very much there, it's incredibly high. It's gone d5. That is a desperate move.
So if we take rook d2?
Yes, and then rook d3, I'm wondering.
Rook d2, rook d3.
Or maybe rook takes a3 first.
Takes a3, yes.
Rook d3. Is my a pawn going to queen? Maybe my a pawn is going through there. My dear friend, co-commentator, is struggling here. So, yeah, this is maybe a decent practical chance. He's gone for taking, and Magnus is hoping to pick up this pawn very quickly indeed. Maybe he will do that. Sorry, we don't have that position. And has he escaped? I'm just wondering. Is he going to get his king to come and take this pawn? Is this a miracle save?
King f3.
King e6. King f5. How? King f5? How is he going to save this?
No, but you cannot take. I can take here because I have g6. You see? I have this and this.
That's your trick.
Well, I got my boys back.
You got your boys back. Okay.
Yes.
The boys are back in town.
Yes, so you cannot win this anymore, probably.
What a clever defense. What a clever defense by Magnus Carlsen.
So
See,
young
that is the thing of when you're up against somebody of Magnus's ability, which is not very often, they don't lie down and die, do they? I mean, that's the whole point. They fight, and they fight. And he's been completely outplayed in this game. And now, still, it looks like he's going to save himself. b5, bishop d8 now? Is that a problem? He's gone bishop d8. Is that a problem? Bishop d8, and now he's threatening bishop e7. Has Magnus overpressed?
Well, I was wondering here. Well, he goes for king d4. Wait a second.
Yeah, but king d4. Yes. And now it looks like, is Jan Krzysztof winning with bishop e7? Check. No, bishop e7.
So bishop b6.
He's got bishop e7. He's got what?
Queen d4.
He's got bishop c1.
Yes, bishop e7. You can still play.
Yes.
Bishop c1, but
Yes.
This is such an important... How many seconds left? Can he go for bishop b7 or not? He goes for bishop b7. And bishop c1.
Yes.
King e6.
Now it's so bishop b2,
Bishop b2.
2 looks like a forced move, and I'm just wondering whether b6 is strong there. b6 is killing. Bishop c5 check, king f5.
No, but bishop b2,
b6. b6. No, normally.
But how are you winning if I simply play king d3 and bishop c1?
Always gone the other way.
Okay.
Bishop a5. Coming out from the other side. Oh, he's messed up. Is Magnus going to win? Who knows? How tricky he is. Bishop c3.
Okay, we have this position on the board and bishop
now,
c3.
Now, how is king b6?
But d4?
d4.
King b7.
He's gone b6. So he's off to take that. He's off to see the wizard. d4. Push.
King c4.
King. And now he's going back. Magnus is... Oh, God, he fights. He fights so hard. Bishop b2. And then he takes bishop b2. He's gone there. He takes, and now bishop c1 is a massive threat. And isn't this trouble for Magnus Carlsen? Magnus Carlsen is in enormous trouble here. And now the bishop retreats on that long diagonal. And the pawn, or he can play king c6, even better. Magnus has gone bishop b2. Is that right? King b4. It's a misjudgment, I think. And king e6. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe. Yeah, Magnus has to wait. Magnus has to wait. And the king is coming right in. And now I think bishop d4 at some point is going to win. He's gone bishop d4.
Oh, the king
I think Magnus Carlsen is toast. The world champion is going down, and this is a remarkable finish for the young Polish player. He's resigned. Wow. What a moment.
This is simply unbelievable.
Yeah. Great, great play by Jan Krzysztof Duda. Remarkable game, winning with black in the second tiebreak game. Magnus Carlsen has left the room, and he's probably
Jan
not.
Krzysztof is simply putting back the pieces on the board.
Well, he was signing the score sheet. He's probably just composing himself now, and I've got no doubt he is absolutely thrilled.
Did he realize what just happened? He beat Magnus Carlsen
with black.
With black, the world champion. He qualified
for the
final. He will face Sergei Karyakin. So here are the results on your screen. Just we were witnessing something great. That's what I wanted to say. I was looking for a word, and this is really something.
It's an overused word, but it's applicable right now. Remarkable victory and excellent play. Yeah, sure. Some little chances missed both sides, but he kept his cool, he kept his composure. And at some point I thought, oh God, Magnus is going to get out of this. And then he pounced on him. So brilliant play, great performance, and I hope we can get him in the studio. We will see whether we can grab hold of him.
Just a second, I will ask.
And amazing stuff for today. And if we don't get hold of him, we're probably going to bring to a conclusion today's broadcast. Although I think we do have the closing ceremony a bit later on for the women's Grand Prix.
Okay, let's wait for a second and thank our sponsors.
Yes, as always, Gazprom is the general partner of the championship, global energy firm, and it deals, unsurprisingly, with gas and other supplies of energy. Nornickel is a leading Russian metals and mining company and is the world's largest producer of high-grade nickel and palladium. Phosagro is one of the largest producers of phosphate-based fertilizers, and which it supplies to more than 100 countries around the world. They are a strategic partner of FIDE and a general partner of the Russian Chess Federation. And here behind us, we have a number of other sponsors: Chessable, Sirius, KIAP, what's that? KIAP, which is a legal company, Chess Federation of Russia, etc. So Aeroflot, I forgot that. So thanks to them. And do we have our information?
Yes, I just got our information because it would take quite a while because he has to give a few interviews, then to go through fair play procedures.
He gets doped. He gets
We'll try to get him tomorrow.
We'll try and get that would be wonderful.
Okay, then Nigel, before we go on break till tomorrow, I really wanted to ask you here if you can have a board on our screens, because I still cannot believe what happened. So I have a question about this endgame. At some point, when Magnus finally managed to activate his king here. So even here, just a second, g6. Young Krzysztof Duda was forced to play g6 because, of course, king f4 was not possible.
Yes.
And then I had this question, what if I play king e3? Are we losing here?
Well, it's a very good question. And maybe not. And maybe that's it. Maybe he just opened a diagonal. He can't get the bishop in.
Because, this bishop was so active, so I was thinking, but maybe he can still try and play king g4, but that doesn't bring you anywhere.
No.
You simply...
Bishop d4.
Bishop d4. So, because while you were talking, I was still trying to analyze, and I didn't understand if this position was winning.
Sometimes it's very difficult when you're playing these games, and to know when to go passive, because this is the passive defense. And they very, very often say in endgames, you should always go active. And it just isn't true. There are plenty of times where doing nothing is the right thing to do. Most people feel that that on the weekends, that doing nothing is the right thing to do. Stay in bed, have a rest. But this type of position here, it may be that it's not possible for black to activate his...
So bishop b3 was the fatal mistake? And then king d4?
I think b5 was the issue. Or maybe he's in Zugzwang here. Is he in Zugzwang?
Because bishop b3, bishop c7 was played, and then he went. Yes.
Yeah, then he gets into Zugzwang.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
yes.
everyone. Everyone off to buy fertilizer for their roses. Wonderful day, wonderful day's play, dramatic day, not so great for Anna Muzichuk, who was a bit off form, but the real excitement of today was, of course, in the men's semi-final, the world champion defeated in sensational style by the young Jan Krzysztof Duda from Poland.
And of course we can hear all the Polish fans chanting here in Krasnaya Polana. So we'll be back tomorrow, and Jan Krzysztof will play in the finals against Sergei Karyakin.
Yeah.
This will be a hell of a match.
Yeah, Zippity Duda.
Obladi, oblada, obladuda. So see you tomorrow, guys.